Hey world. So today I'd like to share with you some of my most profound wisdom and knowledge from my own personal experiences in life. It's been a journey and one I greatly honor and respect. And I believe that sharing information, sharing wisdom is important. We've all got our own paths to walk, our own journeys and our own stories, but we can help each other. I do this freely, without any expectation, because one of the most wisest men I met in my life told me one little phrase, and he said, when you give without any expectation of material gain, that means without receiving anything back, then God will line the universes for you. And I think today we do too much things with an expectation of wealth, linking it to money, receiving something back, and I don't really like that, to be honest. So here it is, my most profound wisdom. I could probably write a book on this. But yeah, I've met a lot of people, I guess, in life that suffer with things, including myself, things that I've had to go through, things that I've had to evolve through, things that I've had to transcend. And if you bring it back to things, there are, I'd say, 5 important pillars in life. 5 important pillars for humanity, 5 important pillars to overcome disease, 5 important pillars to overcome depression, 5 important pillars to lead the best possible life that you could imagine. And they really are quite simple. It's very much about being human. These pillars are as follows. The first one is movement. Pillar number 1. You can ask any yogi, any sports athlete, anyone that is embarking in a sufficient amount of movement, what it does to them, their body, and how they feel when they do it. It is even a pillar that is linked to spirituality, to connecting. There is so much through movement. You can step into flow, synchronicities and magic through it. If you think about movement, it's human. It's important for your body to move, to unlock. Otherwise you get fixed, your energy stagnates. And yeah, I'm sure a lot can be written about movement and why it is important. Number 2 is breath. Now you're getting certain people like Wim Hof and various others, and before Wim Hof there was people exploring holotropic breathwork. The reason why breath is really important is if you're doing it certain ways, forcefully and powerfully, and exploring the depths of breath, you're over-oxygenating your body. By over-oxygenating your body, you're sending oxygen to those muscles, renewing them, getting rid of stagnant energy, opening up channels within your body. I personally experienced quite a few different types of breath work, my favorite being holotropic, because it's taken me places. It also can activate, what is that gland called? I think it's the scientific term or something is the hypothalamic gland or the pineal gland or whatever gland that is. And by activating that, you can even astral travel, leave your body, and have some incredible experiences where you're tapping into the greater consciousness. I'm not sure if that's available for all, but that is something I have experienced personally. I think we all have different pillars that we can pioneer in life, different pillars that are maybe more relevant to each individual. And it's not necessarily about mastering all the pillars, but it's at least keeping a few that you pioneer or that you push, or that you explore, and maybe remembering all 5. Wim Hof got into breath, I believe, because if I'm correct, I've read somewhere that he'd lost his wife and his child. So his body was in a huge amount of pain, or his mind was in a huge amount of pain. You know, feelings, thinking about the past. You know, diving. You can start to spiral in that. You know, depression lurks when you're actually focusing very much on the past. Anxiety when you're focusing very much on the future. Now, that's a sweet spot. How did he get into breath? He started to use cold water submersion. Getting into really, really freezing cold water. Why? Because when you get into cold water, you become sensory. You can't think. You can't feel sad. You can't feel depressed. You're so busy focusing on that cold water, and actually what does the cold water do? It teaches you to breathe. Because as soon as you get into the cold water, you suddenly go for the first time. It's really teaching you to breathe, to access a breath that you haven't accessed in your normal life. And through accessing breath and mixing it with cold water therapy, well, he unlocked some interesting doors of the body, which further allowed him to break numerous world records, climb Everest in shorts, and all those things. More so, it put himself and his frequency in a beautiful state. If any of you have met Wim Hof, there is just something about his energy that just radiates this beauty, this joy of life. Ah, yes, let's breathe, motherfucker. Incredible man. I honor him with, I've only had one encounter with him, but yeah, beautiful. And that came from his journey or experience or wisdom came from hardship. And so it's important that one doesn't look at oneself and go, oh, I'm depressed, oh, I'm not in a good space, oh, I'm not this. Good that you're not in a good space, because you're going to have a fuckload of wisdom when you move from that space into another space. And that links in with another phrase that a very wise man told me once. And that was, if you want to feel different about life, it really is this simple. Act differently, think different, feel different. If you act differently, you will start to think different. And if you start to think different, you will start to feel different. So with all this, we're on we've done movement, we've done breath, and then we've gone to touch. Touch is one modality that I really explored for myself. I embarked on a Kahuna journey. I really enjoyed Kahuna as a massage therapy because it was a lot more dynamic, not so rigid, a lot of flow. It's linked to rebirthing, it's linked to releasing trauma. It's just a very beautiful, nurturing, heart-based modality. I very much honor my teacher, Metta Sorensen, and her institute. She's an amazing woman who's been doing Kahuna for decades and decades. Why touch is so important is because we're human. We need touch to survive. You know, we're not some animal that can just never experience touch in our lives. Touch is nurturing. You know, touch can be healing. Also, through massage and things, you can correct the body's alignment. You can correct the tension and the emotions that are held in the body. Just think, for example, when you're sad, what happens? Your body, your shoulders slump forward, your facial expressions, every muscle in your body reacts to that emotion that you are feeling. And when you've been sad for a very long time, you start to set your body in those motions, in that position. That's why sometimes just going to a psychologist is not really going to help, because you're just working with the mind. And just working with the mind is not always the solution for overcoming depression. When your body is set with years of feeling sad, or not feeling open, not feeling happy, not feeling that meaning of life. You've got to be careful with happiness and meaning. Then yeah, it locks into certain positions. You know, think about when you're happy and you smile, all the little muscles here, your body, you may be standing more like this, open, feeling good, yay, life, woohoo! You know, you're setting your body into certain positions, which is confirming's not the right word, which is it's connecting to your mind, it's supporting your thoughts and your views and your brain, your thought and whatever. So with massage, with certain therapy, with certain touch, you can help the body open up, especially if it's been years of this. You can see, you know, people that are unhappy walking along, looking at their feet, not feeling it. It's starting to open the body, and by opening the body and realigning the body and working with that, releasing past traumas, releasing those knots, those tension, those stress that have built up over years, you can help the mind correct itself, or at least help the mind, not correct, I don't like to use the word correct, but help the mind feel different, think different rather, so that you as a being will feel different. And if you feel different, if you feel positive, happy, with meaning in life, you're gonna affect the world with a positive impact, more than likely. So yes, touch. So we have movement, breath, touch. Throw in sound, because hey, you listen to a good record, you listen to a good album, there is certain music out there which can actually make your body radiating goosebumps and feeling. You know, we all know how beautiful, incredible sound can affect us. So go explore some sound healings. Go listen to beautiful music. And yeah, be careful which frequencies you want to follow. If you just want to listen to the absolute sad music over and over again, yes, it can be beautiful. Sad music, there is some of the most beautiful sad music I've ever heard that exists out there. And some of those artists have been incredible. There's a few artists that have created such sad, beautiful music, they've actually ended up ending their lives. They've explored that frequency to such a degree that it's be careful which frequencies you want to embody. Be careful which frequencies you want to explore. And I thank all of those that have created such beautiful music, such sad music, such happy music, such enlightened music, such, you know, sound healing, such spiritual music, whatever. All is needed, because life is also not about good or bad. It's not about sad or happy. It's about the contrast. It's about the wisdom gained. So again, I say, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling unhappy, good. Because when you get from that position to another position, think of all the wisdom, think of all the knowledge, think of all the meaning in life you would have gained. But yes, sound, beautiful. That's why I like to add sound to my massage. You know, I take hours and hours creating beautiful playlists for my clients. Then, right, final pillar, community, connection. Community is all important. Look at elephants. look at certain animals and tribes. We're tribal animals. We're community animals. Yes, we can have nomads. I enjoy being a nomad at times. I enjoy going out there by myself. I enjoy my own space. But I need people. People are meant to have people in their lives. And when you enter into a beautiful frequency, or you become a love Jedi, as I like to say, which is also a huge fucking journey in itself, then you'll find that you can walk down the street and fall in love 100 times with everyone. As you start to see their beauty, as you become more open, as you become more connecting. A very good prescription by another guru to me was once, he said, how much are you really noticing? How much are you really aware? What are you noticing in a person's eyes, in their face? Are you talking to someone and noticing their eye color? Are you noticing their lines in their nose, their smile lines, their mouth, their things? What are you actually noticing? How many times do you talk to people and we're just talking away this in our own little world and we're not actually connecting? It happens a lot. I have to remind myself this too. And his prescription to me was simply to genuinely, searching for the word, to genuinely compliment 3 people per day for the next 30 days. So I did that. It was difficult at first. Just walking around, you're like, well, how am I going to genuinely compliment 3 people a day? It's like, I don't want to just compliment them on like, nice dress, or hey, you look good, or whatever. It really required a lot of thinking. And I had to kind of go, all right, cool. And it would be interesting. I mean, for an example, today, I just walked past some guys and they were packing this van, and the van was like packed to the brim, and I just looked at them and I was like, hey guys, fuck, that's a good packing job. They both laughed, giggled, smiled, started chatting away to me. Yeah, we're doing this, moving. You're instantly engaging. When you compliment people, and it can be something as silly as just saying, hey, nice packing your van. When you genuinely compliment people, you're engaging, you're connecting. And we need that. Humanity needs that. Because if you don't have connection and people in your life, or able to connect to people, you end up feeling very much alone. And that can be challenging in itself. So yes, community, pillar number 5. So we have, again, movement. It's beautiful. Explore it. You can explore it to realms. There are people out there that are skiing down slopes with an avalanche behind them, and they are in such an incredible flow that every position is perfect. One false move and they're gone. But they're entering some magic realm and they're exploring movement to the nth degree. You don't necessarily need to go ski behind an avalanche, but just go to the yoga class. Feel how your body feels afterwards. I bet you'll feel a lot better. Movement, breath, one of my favorites too. If you breathe to such an extent, even doing holotropic breath work, you might even find your extremities start to curl. You start to feel pain in your hands and things like that through over-oxygenating the body. Don't be scared, don't be worried, go with it. Keep breathing. I'm talking like a 2-hour breathwork session of just breathing like through that is the beginning of chi energy. I've met people who've had trucks drive over them because they've learned how to harness this chi, who break ice blocks and things through learning to harness that power of breath and actually learning to harness chi energy. The first 2 times I did holotropic breath work, I found my extremities curled like this, and it would take me half an hour to unclaw and to open my fingers up. Yeah, there's a little bit of fear. Gotta be careful about that fear. You really don't need it in life. But there was initially for me fear. I was like, oh my god, if I give myself a stroke, like why am I freaking taking so long to undo my fingers, and to do this? And with half an hour it would take for me to actually get that movement back. Then the third time, I did holotropic breathwork. My hands again went into that extremities, into that energy, and it was a single thought, connecting body and mind. And the single thought was, go into the pain. And with that single thought, I could instantly open up my hands. Instant. Where before it had taken me half an hour. Not only could I open up my hands, but I could feel that energy. And actually then what happened for me, in my experience, is I left my body, I changed into some mythological creature, I flew around planets, I astral traveled, and I had a vision that then came true over the next 2 years. So there is power in breath, and you can take that as far as you want. Or you can simply just go for a swim in a cold pool, and that's even a form of Wim Hof breath. That whole be careful with water and breathing. Don't go hyperventilate, like over-oxygenate the body and then get into water, because you can pass out. Doing holotropic breathwork and things is better to do on land. But going for a swim and just doing that perfectly healthy. You're not over-oxygenating the body, you're just practicing a gentle form of breath, and you feel amazing for it. I love my saunas and swims. So yes, breath, the movement, breath, touch. Touch is incredible. Especially healthy, healing, from that to sexual touch to whatever touch. With consent, of course. To lie on, for me, when I was starting to do my kahuna training, to lie on a bed there, just opening out, just letting go, just being nurtured, just feeling someone working through my muscles, just releasing things. That was incredible. It really sorted me out. And that was a journey in itself. I'm really grateful to the Institute, because even they knew that touch alone is not just is not everything. And I'd say a quarter of the time we were massaging, the other quarter of the time we were receiving massage, and at least half the time we were working on self-development, cleansing our bodies, doing different chakra movements, spiritual things, everything tied in. Also with massage, you're working on movement as you're doing it, or and breath. So yes, massage, breath, movement, touch, sound, and community, tribe. 5 very important pillars in life. And if you ever find yourself in a state where you're not happy, you find you don't have meaning in life, you're feeling a bit lost, feeling unhealthy, because hey, a lot of us like to burn the candles at both ends. Being healthy and everything is, I feel great when I'm healthy, I feel great when I'm doing the right things, but I also like to go, I'm a Gemini, I like to go and have a good party too and do those things, but it's all about finding that balance. And if you know about those 5 pillars, you can always return to finding that balance. I think that's pretty much all I have to say on that. Go pioneer one of those. Go explore all 5. It's and I think it's important to do that now versus later on, because you don't want to end up frail in some old age center with your shoulders stuck like this and locked into that depressed or that unhappy position, which eventually the body will start to calcify into those certain positions. Get out there, move, breathe, experience touch, connect, listen to good music, and that will put you in a beautiful state. And when you're in a beautiful state, you're able to connect more to people, you're able to connect more to this earth, and maybe you're actually going to look at the earth and go, right, what good can I do? how can I help this earth? How can I help this planet? Because we're all connected. And at the end of the day, love is one of the most beautiful things out there to experience. And if you're practicing those 5 pillars, you're going to find it a lot easier to tap into that energy. And love, that's a whole nother story. We need to get hurt. We need to experience love externally. Every relationship you have, you experience that externally. You're like, oh, this is love. 2 people connecting. Oh, that person, they're love. No, you've got to experience love externally before you can internalize it. So that's why love goes up in different stages. Every time it's a learning lesson, a different growth, a different experience. Your first relationship, very sexual probably. Your second relationship, oh, wow, we can talk till the cows come home. We can talk till 2 a.m. in the morning. Oh my God, we're connected. That's love. Your third, maybe later on, you might have a few relationships where you touch on spiritual synchronicities and things like that. And you're like, oh my God, the universe is giving me the answer. This is my soul partner. This is my twin flame. Because it's giving me all the signs. No, it's just giving you all the signs so that it makes you feel that is the highest form of love externally. And then it takes it away so that you can internalize that experience and then learn to radiate that love from within to everyone, to everything, to everybody. Anyway, that's my little podcast for today. Signing off from Bondi Beach. And yeah, love you all.